about Upper Egypt, and this time in particular, I want to focus on all the developments that took place in Upper Egypt, and this time in particular, I'm talking about the infrastructure. If you want to talk about tourism, if you want to receive more numbers of tourists, of course, you have to take care of your infrastructure, the means of transportation. Well, we can see booming in this respect all over Egypt. And nowadays, wherever you are going to go here in Egypt, in Cairo, or any of the governorates, you will find many of the new routes, bridges, tunnels, and all these means of mega projects taking place, bridges, tunnels, roads, all these are linking all spots or all points of the country, linking all governorates, linking all cities together. So this is important for tourism. Why? Because, for example, there are many people who are very much interested in cultural tourism, yet still they have to visit some of the recreational sites. Well, here in Egypt, you have this, and this is something of great interest. Talking about, for example, if you are in Luxor, you have many beautiful sites to visit, and you have many temples and famous monuments. And even after being in Luxor, or after just enjoying your stay in Luxor, you will find it very easy to move around from Luxor to Hurghada to enjoy a beautiful recreational vacation, to enjoy the Red Sea. If you are talking about Sharm el-Sheikh, for example, still you have the chance also to visit another important historical site, historical and beautiful site, and also a religious one, St. Catherine, talking about the Mount of Sinai and, of course, the famous monastery over there. So wherever you are going to visit or wherever you are going to go here in Egypt, if you are moving for a cultural vacation or tourism vacation, you will have the chance to take 1 day or 2 days, even 1 day trip where you can enjoy the Red Sea or any of the beautiful sites all around Egypt. And that's why it is very, very important to take good care of the infrastructure if you want to work more on tourism.
The Valley of the Kings is another important site to visit. It is a beautiful location where 62 pharaohs were buried. This royal cemetery is located on Luxor's west bank, down the only entrance, a long, narrow winding path. This was a secret place where they used to guard the entrance, as well as the tops of the hills to discourage tombed robbers. Make sure you have to stop by the Temple of Dendera. Visitors to Luxor should try to visit this famous temple of Hathor at Dendera if they have the chance. By taxi, the trip will take you only 1 hour from Luxor, or even by the bus. This temple was built in the 1st century BC by Ptolemy and Queen Cleopatra, and it is one of the best preserved temples in all of Egypt. Later, Roman emperors continued to decorate it to honor the Hathor, the goddess of maternity, love, and music. The Greeks knew Hathor as Aphrodite. The first gateway, built by Roman Emperor Domitian in 80 AD, leads to the well-preserved Great Hall, which is decorated with Hathoric columns. Hathor is mainly represented with the horns of the sacred cow protruding from her head, supporting the solar disk of the sun. In her hands, she holds an ankh, the symbol of life, and a scepter. The interior walls of the Great Hall have remarkable scenes depicting sacrifices made to the goddess of the temple, and the amazing ceiling abounds with astronomical representations. The ceiling is divided into 7 ways, and the best remaining 3 are: the first division on the eastern side, which depicts the Nut, the goddess of the sky, who is bending herself towards the earth, with the sun disk shining on the temple and the mask of Hathor. Second, next to the first one, is a representation of the sun boat and star goddess. And the third one, the western ceiling, which shows a perfect representation of the zodiac signs. One of the reasons that the temple is so beloved, the original zodiac relief is now in the Louvre Museum in France. The second hall has 6 columns, adorned with rich capitals and granite pedestals. On both sides of this hall are small storerooms used to store the wine jars that came from the island of Crete and the fertile Fayoum and Kharga oases. And next is the central chapel and its 2 altars, one for the sacred boat and the other for the sacrifices offered to the goddess Hathor. The temple of Medinet Haber is another beautiful site to visit, which is one of the largest memorial temples in Egypt. After Ramses III died, the temple was built to commemorate him by orders of the current king himself. One of the most wonderful scenes engraved on the back of the southern tower is the oxen hunt. It depicts Ramses III leading his chariot and hunting wild oxen. And here you can notice that the sculptor was skilled in showing the pain of the wounded animals. Only words can never tell or explain the beauty of the site, but a real tour will give you an amazing experience, and open the way to learn more about ancient history and civilization. Being here is a real travel through history because we are moving around places that stand still for thousands of years. St. Catherine is a beautiful and unique city in the South Sinai Governorate. It is located at the outskirts of El Tor Mountains. St. Catherine town lies at the foot of the Sinai high mountain region. We can call it the roof of Egypt, where Egypt's highest mountains are found. St. Catherine, with its unique location on the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt, lies at an elevation of about 1,600 meters from sea level, at the foot of the Sinai high mountains. St. Catherine has a distinguished type of privacy, as it is surrounded by a series of the highest mountains, not only in Sinai, but in Egypt as a whole. The highest of them are tops of Catherine, Moses, and the Safsafa mountains. Such a unique height provided the location with a special type of climate. It is moderate in summer and very cold in winter, which add to its beauty, especially when snow covers the mountain tops. The area was announced as a nature reserve. St. Catherine is of great importance and historic dimensions. This added to its religious importance when the monastery known by the name of St. Catherine Monastery was built in the 16th century, as it still remains as the greatest of the Christian monuments in Egypt and the world. As it is distinguished in location, climate, history, and geography. This reflected on its present, as it is now considered a touristic location of special type, as well as an archaeological area due to its underground water in the wells. Saint Catherine, whose name is given to the monastery, was born in Alexandria in 294 AD and was tortured and beheaded for her Christian beliefs. One of the monks of the Sinai had a vision about her body being at the top of a nearby mountain where her remains were discovered. Mount Sinai in the south, which rises to 2,285 meters, is where God revealed the Ten Commandments to Moses. A small church was built on the peak in 1934. Mount Catherine is the highest summit in Sinai, where on a clear day it is possible to see the whole of Sinai. St. Catherine town is located at the heartland of South Sinai, at a distance of 300 kilometers from Ahmed Hamdi Tunnel. Its area is about 5,130 square kilometers, and it is renowned for its varied forms of tourism, religious, safari, and mountaineering. St. Catherine teems with religious relics, the monastery, Moses Mountain, and Prophet Harun Shrine. This is besides several touristic projects, and also it is considered the biggest protectorate area in Egypt. In 330 AD, Helena, mother of Emperor Constantine, ordered a chapel to be built on the traditional site of the burning bush. In 530 AD, Emperor Justinian built the Basilica, the Church of Transfiguration. In 726 AD, Emperor Leo III decreed that all images of the Christianity communities be destroyed, but due to its isolation, the monastery remained intact. The walls are made of local red granite and are 85 meters long, 75 meters wide, and 11 to 15 meters high. It has several wells providing water. The most important one is Moses' well, where Moses met Jethro's daughter Zipporah, who became his wife. The common mistake is that we don't give our mind a break. Along with the laptop and cell phones and social media, at the end of the day, we find ourselves under stress, thinking all the time about daily challenges, work and home. Definitely, this is not the vacation we need. First of all, we have to concentrate on how to enjoy the vacation, explore new area, try new experience, and to enjoy the feelings of being part of nature. The idea of breaking all rules and routine is very important, just to enjoy and live in a free atmosphere for a week or two, because simply you deserve it.
With this, we come to the end of our backpack for today. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure to join us again. And just as you all know, every time we try to bring you about Egypt, we try to be just like your tour guides for what you are looking for during your vacation. If you are going to find out more about culture, more about recreational, more about events, or more to enjoy the Red Sea, That was all for now. Thanks for joining us. Until we meet again, it's goodbye.